Give me a break, man. Give me a flake, man.
Hello there, morons. It's Victor. Give me a break, man. Give me a flake, man. Using the new iPhone 6S, the front camera. I don't know how good this looks. Let me tell you. Are you gonna, or you tell me, please. Today's video is actually about a foreigner who's going to be coming to Japan soon. He wants to know about work, how he can get work here while he's on his student visa. And an ideal answer to that is actually, by chance, completely by chance, very lucky, is italki. Italki, as you know, I often promote it to you guys as a site where you can learn a language. You can learn any kind of language, any language you're possibly interested in, including imaginary languages like Klingon. They have teachers for any level, any language, and they're professional teachers, and they have different price ranges, and they're based all over the world. Native speakers as well, and people who can explain things in your language as well. So it's very easy to use. Just register your, just sign up. You know, make your login name, sign up, pick a language, and then pick a teacher, and then contact that teacher and schedule a site.
言語を決める。先生を選ぶ。クラスを取る。
Of course, you have to. There is some money involved, which you will negotiate with your teacher. But if you are coming to Japan and you want to teach, I'm sure you could actually use that site as well to register as a teacher of whatever. And this is relevant to today's question, because today, as you know, I do these videos called Answering Your Stupid Questions. That's not a great title, is it? But Answering Your Stupid Questions. And today's question comes from a Brazilian who will be coming to Kyoto, which is near here. It's about an hour away on the Shinkansen, on the bullet train. And it's a beautiful city, beautiful city. I think it's probably the most beautiful city. If you're really interested in Japanese culture, it's the most beautiful city to go to. However, it's packed with foreigners who have the same opinion. So I think jobs are, it's dog eat dog, you know. It's a pretty competitive area. It's a pretty competitive city if you want to teach English. Now this guy, he's lucky. He's coming on the Monbusho scholarship. Okay, the Monbusho is the Ministry of Education, and when you have a show at the end of a word, often it means ministry. I guess I'll put the kanji here, Monbusho. So the Monbusho scholarship, they offer scholarships to students from all over the world. This particular recipient is from Brazil. He's 27 years old, and it's interesting how he describes himself. He's 27 years old, he's white, and he has tattoos. Now, I don't know how many tattoos he has, but I'm assuming they're visible tattoos. Now, Japan is becoming a bit, you like how I stuttered? Japan is becoming a little bit more lax on the tattoo issue, and Japanese are starting to realize that they're going to have to loosen up, especially with the Olympics coming up in the near future, and the fact that so many foreigners have tattoos. From what I hear, they're loosening up a bit, and some onsens are actually letting customers in who do have tattoos. They originally remembered that in Japan, people who have tattoos are generally thought to be thugs, yakuza, punks, degenerates. You know, basically the same thing we used to think in America. But now, of course, in all over the world, tattoos have different meanings. They represent, you know, like I think David Beckham's has tattoos of all his kids' names on his body and stuff like that. So. They're starting to realize that it has a different meaning. It has many different meanings depending on what country you're from. Anyway, like Maori, if you're Maori, it's completely tribal. So, but in general, it is still something that people kind of like go, oh, tattoo. Now, when people realize you're a foreigner, they're much more forgiving about that fact. But rules are rules. So if you're interested in going to certain onsens and places like that, or gyms, yeah, that's the part that I think would be more inconvenient. The fact that you can't get into a gym if you have a tattoo, often. Now there are ways around it. For example, I know guys who go to gyms, and what they do is they cover it up. Like they'll have a tattoo on their arm, and they'll cover it up, or they'll actually wear like a sleeve to cover up the whole arm if they got an arm side tattoo, or just cover up the whole body, you know. Now I remember recently hearing about, oh, I think it was Mully. He was given shit. He's been going to gym for a while, and one day someone noticed he had a tattoo on his leg. Upper thigh, very sexy. No, it was actually lower calf, I think. or shin or something. But anyway, I think he had a bit of trouble over that. He might have a video on that. I don't remember. It was quite a while ago. That was a couple years ago. But yeah, I've heard of people, or maybe he was asked to cover it up. I don't remember the drama. But anyway, yeah, if they find a tattoo, like if you're changing in the changing room, yeah, that's what happened. I think maybe it wasn't it. But anyway, the story is some guy who had a tattoo, been going to the gym for a while, and he's covering it up. But then one day someone saw it in the changing room, right? He was taking a shower or something, or taking off his clothes. And boom, you know, there it is. His cover's blown. And they asked him to leave. They said, "I'm sorry, we can't. Rules are rules, and we can't have you coming here anymore." And that's really that's a real bummer if they've accepted you and you haven't had any problem, and you're obviously not a thug or a criminal. I understand that, but rules are rules, and that's the way it is here. However, like I said, it's becoming more lenient. But if you're wanting to get jobs and stuff, you know, it's better not to show that you have tattoos. That's all. So anyway, back to this guy. He's Brazilian. He's 27. He's white. He has tattoos. He's coming to Kyoto to study. His major is IT and computers, and he wants to know if he can get part-time jobs teaching Portuguese and English. And of course, the easiest solution to that is just register with italki.com and try to gather students on that site. I suppose it's fairly competitive on that side as well, but if you're good, you're good. You're going to get students, right? Now, if you're in Kyoto, I think one of the major problems he's going to have is he's going to need his school to give him permission, because if you're on a student visa, from what I understand, you need your school to okay the part-time job. I don't think they would okay certain jobs. Like maybe they wouldn't want you working as a bartender or something, but maybe they don't care. I don't know. I really don't know about that. But I'm pretty sure that in this case, they probably wouldn't mind you teaching someone Portuguese or English. Now he says that he's fluent in both. The problem with Portuguese is that it's not a very high in demand language. I don't know how many Brazilians or Portuguese speakers are in Kyoto. I'm sure there's some, but there are much more in this area, in Nagoya or in Toyota, where I live around here. There are factories that employ them. A lot of Brazilians come over to work in the factories, and there are like little Korean sounds. And actually, last night on the 2.5 Oyajis show, Jake Knowlton, who lives in Gunma, mentioned some town that they call Brazil Town or something. And yeah, I suppose places like that, if you lived around there, there'd be a lot of Brazilians, and maybe that means there would be more of a demand to learn the language. So, you know, if you're dealing with Brazilians every day, it would be very convenient to learn the language. But from what I know, I don't really know anyone in Nagoya who teaches Portuguese. I'm sure there is someone. In fact, I think we were asked once to find someone, and I don't recall if we ever did. But anyway, I'm sure there are some. I know a Japanese woman who speaks Portuguese very well, and she works at a school where a lot of the kids are half or pure Portuguese, and she's got to deal with parents who can't speak Japanese very well. So she's like one, but surprisingly, she's actually one of the only, if not the only, teacher there who speaks Portuguese. So they rely on her quite a bit to deal with all the parents, you know, and explain rules and things to all the parents, right? But I've heard of Portuguese. It sounds pretty good to me. But again, I'm not fluent. I've been to Brazil a couple times. I can kind of understand Portuguese a little bit because it's very similar to Spanish, which I do speak. Hablo un poco de español, pero hace mucho tiempo que no hablo y no practico nada. Pero no falo portugués, you know. I don't speak Portuguese. Anyway, so yeah, finding a job in Japan on a Momosho scholarship is possible, but you know you're gonna have to work, right? As in work to find students. It's highly competitive in Kyoto because so many foreigners go there, and there are certain places that will let you advertise. Though I don't live in Kyoto, so I don't know. You'll have to find them. Now in Nagoya, there used to be an international center, or there is an international center, and they have lists of all the schools there. Or they, you know, I haven't been there recently, so this could be. They have lists of all the schools there. And you can go there and get a list of all the schools and then cold call them and see if anybody has a part-time job. If you something else that I noticed is that you can, well, they used to have, I don't think they do anymore. They used to let you put up your little flyer, like fill out a form and say, this is what I teach, this is how much I charge, and this is where I want to teach. You can say I'll teach in coffee shops or at my apartment or your apartment, and you can put your price there. But I don't think they allow that anymore because there are too many hassles. Like, see, people, they didn't want to there were some problems like between the student and the teachers, and they were blamed. You know, like, yeah, you should have like vetted this teacher. He's a scumbag or something, or maybe the opposite of, you know, because there are like some weirdo Japanese students as well. I heard recently, off the subject, and this is the kind of videos I make right off the subject. There was a woman who was willing to give someone free rent if they were a foreigner, because she wanted like, I guess, free daily, you know, language lessons by just associating, living with a person who's a foreigner. And it seemed, I remember someone, it was on Facebook, yeah, someone was saying, I don't know about this. This seems kind of shady, but you know, there are weird things like that. And actually I heard about that in a completely different situation. At the International Center, someone was offering a room. Yeah, if you need help finding rooms, they help you a little bit there too. And yeah, there was some weird, like, I'm pretty sure this one was a definitely certified weird woman, like some late to middle age, still thinks she's sexy kind of woman who was offering, and I think she was looking specifically for a young man. It's kind of creepy, but anyway, there are centers. I'm sure Kyoto is so full of so many foreigners that they must have some kind of support system for people who are looking for things like that, extra work, or places where you can put your flyers. There are probably coffee shops or even bars that will have bulletin boards where you can probably advertise, you know, your lessons, your English lessons or Portuguese lessons. Though I don't specifically know. Of course, see, the guy mentioned that he also checked the Gaijin Pod, and there are online places too. There's some place that lets you register, and I think it's called something like Find a Teacher or something, but you can register to teach there, put your picture and everything, and then people can, I think the Japanese have to pay to get your contact information. That's how the site makes money. But yeah, they can contact you and you can meet them and teach them face to face. But again, like I said, italki, you can do it without meeting them face to face. And you can teach people from all over the world, so there's that too. So there are a lot of ways, and by the way, if you did the online stuff, I don't think your school would actually have to know. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't know, right? I mean, but the other question is, you know, what kind of internet connection are you going to have? If you're on the Momisho scholarship, you may have trouble, as in they may give you a pretty shitty dorm room internet connection, or it might be really fast, who knows. But generally speaking, internet in Japan is really fast. It's incredibly fast. It's so fast that you can download, you can watch things in 4K here. And you can almost see the disappointment on the porn actresses' parents' faces. That's how good it is. Yeah, that's a joke that actually comes from Molly, which is a pretty good joke, I think. Did I say that right, Molly? I don't know. Anyway, Molly's a very funny guy, by the way. So I guess that's basically my answer. Yes, you can. You'll need permission. You'll need to look for students, but as far as I know, you can do it. He had one more question, and that question was regarding getting a job in computing and IT. From what I hear, that's really tough. A lot of people have asked that. They've said, hey, that's my specialty, that's what I majored in, oh, that's what I do in the States, can I get a job here? A lot of you ask, and this is just an amazingly stupid question that I get all the effing time, and that's, you know, hey, I'm a dentist in America, can I come to Japan and be a dentist? Or I'm a nurse, can I come to Japan and be a nurse? Or I'm whatever you think you are, whatever you are, and you want to come to Japan and do the same thing. A carpenter, plumbers, I've got, you know, car mechanics, they've all told me the same thing. You know, if you don't speak Japanese, I don't know why anyone would hire you, unless you're working on the naval base or near the naval base where you're only dealing with foreigners. I suppose that's possible. Or if you happen to work for a company that hires from out of states. I did know one lawyer here who worked for actually, I don't know, a Western company. I don't know if it was American or British, but he worked for a Western company, and he spoke shit all Japanese, just terrible Japanese, just enough to pick up girls. He was kind of a scumbag, but he's a lawyer. What do you expect, right? But he spoke just enough to compliment girls, and then no other Japanese. But he didn't need it, you know. So, and he worked for a company, an American company. And oh yeah, what it was is he quit that company and got another job with another Western company. So yeah, he didn't need Japanese, right? Now, for everyone else, if you want to be a carpenter and deal with Japanese people, good luck. But I really doubt that's going to happen. That's pretty much my video. Thanks for asking. I'm way behind on all the answering your stupid questions. I'm going to have a little bit more time next week. These are not the most exciting videos for me to make, or for you probably to watch. A lot of them are repetitive because I do the same, same kind of crap every time. But they're stupid questions, so what do you expect? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and talk to you soon.